are back with another episode of the Morning Skate, episode 259 of Labor Day weekend. Morning Skate, your host Ked here. I'm joined by my boy Brownie. Brownie, it's been a bit. It's good to be back in the lab. How's everything going, dude?
The only hockey podcast on the internet that worked throughout the offseason and is here on Labor Day.
I don't think that there's another hockey podcast going live Friday, September 2nd at 9:42 at night. I don't think so.
Not a fucking chance.
It's dedication, man.
Yep.
We're gonna talk about this in Heroes and Zeros, but has the heat broke up by you? Because the heat has broke here and it has been fucking so nice outside.
I noticed it yesterday. I was working outside and I was on a roof and the wind shifted and it was cool air as opposed to warm air. And I was like, ooh.
Winter's coming.
Yeah.
So what's been going on, man? Anything fun? Any updates?
No, I just been working, playing. We got a weekly game now. We're almost done with the summer season. We'll talk about it in beer league and get ready for NFL kickoff, hockey start, and yeah, that's really about it. Just
hot take. This is the best time of the year.
Yeah. Like another week, and I'll be done with exteriors for the year. Then I'll really be.
Yeah, I'm so over the summer heat. I'm so over just like sweating through pants and just like pretending. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just hop into it, dude. Let's get her going. Mea culpas.
Hi, this is Mea Culpa, and I'm here to introduce the Morning Skates Mea Culpas with Ked and Brownie.
All right, it's Mea Culpa time. Actually, before we hop in, just want to give Ryan Connor a shout out. Guy worked with a drive. He's the biggest hockey fan in the office. I mentioned him a few times. He texted me today and he's like, hold on, I got to pull this up. I fucking love this kid. Actually, congratulations to him too. He just got engaged.
Oh, congrats.
And he's going to
and condolences to his fiance.
Yeah, right. Maybe Instagram messaged me. I don't know. The kid's a beauty. He's from Arizona, so I told him, yeah, you should go to that college rink and see what's going on there. He said I need the NHL season to start. I need some fresh content for the pod. So he's fired up. But Mea culpas, let's do it, Brownie. And for people who are just tuning in, this is for all of our fuck ups. So
follow not just fuck ups, but also catch ups. So the only thing we screwed up on the last podcast, and I'm ignoring the interview one I did because I'm sure there were mess ups in there, but the player, remember we talked about when Johnny Gaudreau signed with Columbus, there was a player who bought and sold his home. Yes. Remember we talked about that? Yeah. It was Cam Atkinson.
Okay.
So he sold his house, went to Philly. Went to Philly, realized he would, there's the motto for Columbus, even better than Philly. But he realized he wanted to have his home base in Columbus, and he went back and bought the house back from the guy who he had sold.
I'm a Cam Atkinson guy just because he likes torts, and if he likes torts, he has that like old school hockey mentality.
Yeah, no, I like Atkinson too. It just was I just couldn't remember the name. And a follow up on a story we talked about before, Brett Favre. The FBI.
I saw this. Yeah,
dude, it's a scumbag. Especially with everything that's going on in Mississippi with their infrastructure and the water being poisoned and everything. And he's taking millions of dollars that was meant for welfare. So fuck you, Brett Favre.
Yeah, that probably could have went over a little bit better.
One of the GOATs, in my opinion, Salma Hayek, turns 56 today.
Holy shit, dude. You texted me that picture of her? Woo, or that video?
The video, yeah.
Oh, my God.
For all of you who enjoy Salma Hayek, go check out her Instagram. She posted a nice video today to celebrate her birthday. And she still has her fastball.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Fucking 96 on the black, bud.
We're currently 6 days from the NFL kickoff and 40 days from the NHL opening night puck drop.
40 days ain't nothing. That's going to be here before you know it. Actually, you mentioned NFL. Have you watched that Hard Knocks thing on? Yeah.
There's a new episode. I'm one episode behind. I enjoy that.
I think that Aiden Hutchinson kid's going to be sick. I like his style, and I love the running back coach.
What was I listening to? I was listening to a podcast. Oh, I know it's stupid talking about the podcast, but whatever. I mean, everybody listens to a bunch. I was listening to Part of My Take today, and they had Jerry O'Connell on. You know who that is?
Yeah.
And he's hilarious when he comes on. He comes on to talk about fantasy football, and it's hilarious. But he was talking about Hard Knocks, and Jerry O'Connell's like, I want to have sex with that entire family, including the father. But just the way he did it, it's definitely worth an interview worth listening.
Do you know how tall he is, Aiden Hutchinson?
I'm gonna guess 6'5".
Dude, he doesn't look that big in Hard Knocks and shit. He's
proportionate. He's 6'7"?
6'7".
Wow.
Like what, dude? I thought he was like maybe 6'2", 6'3". I thought he was one of those smaller DNs. No.
Hey, since we're already going off the rails, have you seen She-Hulk?
No idea what that is.
It's pretty much. I think the title is pretty self-explanatory. It's She-Hulk.
She-Hulk? No, I haven't seen that. There's a kid in the Capital District, I guess I found out tonight, that calls himself Mr. Forklift. Because he just fucking lifts heavy weight. Can you imagine making up your own nickname? As
No, She-Hulk is a real thing. It's a TV show.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a person that everybody called She-Hulk.
No. That would be mean. No, the She-Hulk is a Marvel property. She's Bruce Banner's cousin. His blood spilled. I don't want to give any away spoilers, but it's on Disney Plus. It's like a series, a TV show. And we were talking at work the other day about it. She's a Hulk, right? Like the green guy, but she's like not out of control, angry. But she's meant to be like 6'7" or 6'8". And we were all talking at work, and we're like, "Oh yeah, I would." The actress who plays her is super hot. So there you go.
I don't think I can. No, 6'8's a little bit too tall for me.
Hey, buddy, you got to take a shot. So, hey, the last thing is we are looking for writers for the upcoming season.
Love that.
We have plenty of openings in the Atlantic, Montreal, Ottawa, Tampa Bay, and Ottawa would be a good team to write for right now, I would say.
I think so too.
In the Metro, Carolina, Columbus, the Islanders, Pittsburgh. In the Central, Arizona, Chicago. Good luck. Colorado, Nashville, and Winnipeg. I would like Winnipeg would be fun too if you were living in Winnipeg. So if you live in Winnipeg and you look for something to do this winter, start writing for the Morning Skate. And then the last one, the Pacific, Anaheim, the Kings, and the Sharks. So if you like hockey and you are better at computers than I am, which is not saying a whole hell of a lot, which we'll get to in my zero, and you would like to write and be able to chirp Ked like we all do, then reach out. Morning Skate.
There
you go, buddy.
I love this. We're going to hop into NHL news. I just glanced over at the docs. Our first story, I had no idea happened. So.
Wait, before you do that, talk about JT Miller because that's not on the doc.
Yep, JT Miller re-ups in Vancouver, 7 years, $8 million a year, 29-year-old center. Comparisons, Mika Zibanejad, also 29. He makes 8.5, so he's making a little bit less than Mika. JT Miller, he probably feels great because what has it been the last 2 years? It's just been JT Miller's getting traded, and it seems like he's taking a leadership role there.
Yep.
Rangers draft pick. I always liked him. He always kind of had this cockiness edge to him, but JT Miller, man, and he had an all right career with the Rangers. He went to Tampa. I think he lit it up. And then he stopped lighting it up. And then he went to Vancouver and he's a point per game center now. So he's American.
I like him because he plays the 200-foot game. That's
he has a deer tattoo, even though he doesn't go hunting.
Is it Bambi or
no? It's I don't know what deer company it is. It's a hunting company tattoo. Back when they had the 24/7 when the Rangers were in it, they were all making fun of them.
All right,
there you go.
There you go.
So is this real life or are you just fucking with me?
That was real life.
Nicholas,
as far as I know. I didn't know about it either.
Nicholas Backstrom, there's no way this is real. I feel this would have been all over Twitter. I feel you're fucking with me.
I'm not. Listen, if I wish I could have. I wish I could have come up with something like that.
Nicholas Backstrom. Did you get duped?
Maybe. This is quality podcasting. Ked, me filling air while Ked researches a story on his phone.
Dude, nothing's popping up. I think you got duped.
Yeah? It was very specific due to injuries and stuff.
No, I think you got duped, man.
No way, man.
I think you definitely got duped, bro. I just searched Nicholas Backstrom retired. There's nothing there.
Are you sure?
Yeah. They said that they might be without Nicholas Backstrom and Tom Wilson for the foreseeable future, but nothing about retiring.
Nicholas Backstrom.
Yeah, we're gonna scratch that one. That's a mea culpa that we definitely have to talk about next week.
My bad, buddy.
You're good. I was like, holy shit! How have we not like Trip Disco for this? I was like, the
yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Well, listen, we just said we're glad summer's over. That's the heat.
Sheesh. Well, hey, might as well
my
happen
brain
now
out
and
there.
not when hockey starts. So that's fine. Hey, just kidding. It was a real fucking curveball there. The recently signed Noel Chari at his introductory presser let slip the cookie nickname he acquired in Florida. I'd say I'd have 4 or 5 Oreos before a pregame nap, and then I have a great nap. So, cookie.
It's a good nickname.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. Did you see the thing? A high school football team got in trouble for hazing people. Did you see this? And they stole a scene right out of Blue Mountain State. Have you ever seen Blue Mountain State?
I've seen like clips. I don't think I've ever even seen a whole episode, but yeah.
So, like one of like the first episodes, they have the rookies do this run on the football field where they have to like put a cookie between their butt cheeks and run like an entire football field, and it falls out. You have to eat it. This high school football team in Texas like did that, and they got caught with hazing. It was like this huge national news. Didn't know if you knew. Just, hey, that's cookie talk for you. Vegas, they signed Phil the Thrill 1 year, 1.5. Some dates to be aware of: on 10/24, he could tie the NHL Ironman streak versus Toronto. Then on 11/17, could play in his 1,000th consecutive game against Arizona. I wonder if that's in Arizona or in Vegas.
I think both of those happen to be in Vegas, if I remember correctly.
Imagine playing 1,000 games in the show and you're in Vegas. What do you do after the game?
Yeah.
Wow.
But the more surprising thing is, how long did he sit and wait for a 1.5? You wouldn't take Phil Kessel?
So I saw, like, I think Greg Wyshynski came out with something the other day talking about how, like, teams that know they're not going to be in the playoffs are just trying to kind of tank, and it's taking away money from other people. Like Tyler Mott's still unsigned. He's a fucking great player. Like it's taking money away. Like Phil Thrill just signed 1.5. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Him in Vegas, him with Jack Eichel would be kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
After announcing Robin Leonard will miss the entire 2022-23 season after hip surgery, he replied via the media, "My hip isn't even that bad, but if the front office doesn't give a shit about hockey in Vegas, why should I?" Sheesh.
Yeah. Like,
Vegas is imploding right now.
Yeah, I feel bad for Butch Cassidy. I mean, he's making good money and he's a good coach. Yeah, I just that was a tough one to see that from Leonard.
Yeah.
And if you're Vegas, you as a front office management, you must know that if there's one guy on the roster that is not going to just fucking go along with your bullshit, it's Robin Leonard.
Especially with injuries.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of what happened. When did that happen? Where he got fucked? Was it Buffalo with his ankle? He had like I think it was Buffalo with his. Yeah, we're talking about Jack Eichel.
Yeah.
So, more Vegas club signed Jake. Oh god damn it! Lecision and Paul Cotter to 3-year contract extensions, and Nicholas Roy 5 years at $15 million, $3 million a year for Nicholas Roy. Sheesh. Arizona State University announced that their new multi-purpose arena where the Coyotes will play for the next 3 years will be named Mullet Arena.
Somehow that's a true story, but Nicholas Backstrom retiring is not.
So like that, I think that's just like on brand, right?
Oh, like, lean into it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I think so too. Everybody thinks it's fucking super sick. It's definitely, it's out there. Yeah. It got you in the news.
Yeah. There you go.
And then Lawson Krause, 5 years, 21.5, 4.3 million.
That's a great deal.
So I think he's a great player, but do you think at any point he just gets fed up of playing in Arizona or no?
Well, the plus side for him is that's a attractive contract for the player he is. So he could be moved.
I think so too.
Jake DeBrusk for him straight up. There you go. Bruins eat the extra cash.
Edmonton signed Yamamoto for 2 years, $6.2 million. It's $3.1 a year. Justin Connor McDavid stat. Out of all the players drafted between 1998 and 2021, only 2 players have more career points than McDavid. Steve Stamkos in 2008 and John Tavares in 2009. Stamkos had 972, Tavares had 895. McDavid 15 draft has 697 points, according to Sportsnet.
So basically he's given them a head start.
That was 2008, not 1998. My apologies.
But that's him giving them a head start, basically.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's fucking nuts, dude.
That's what I'm saying. It's a great stat. That was Sportsnet.
Yeah. World Juniors. Latvia celebrated their first World Juniors win in 3,875 days when they beat. Now, is Czechia the same thing as Czechoslovakia?
I don't know. I think so, but I'm not 100%.
Okay.
Which is that could be a T-shirt.
Yeah.
I think so, but I'm not 100%. The morning skate.
They advanced to the quarterfinals for the first time ever. They'd previously gone 0-27 in the tournament. That just meant they were due for all the gamblers out there. The Cinderella team eventually fell to Sweden 2-1, put on quite a show. To runner-up co-hosting tournament next year with Finland. Canada won the summer tournament with an OT win over Finland, while Sweden beat Czechia for bronze. The U.S. lost them in the quarterfinals. The highlight of the tournament was the save by Mason McTavish to keep Canada alive in the final. That was crazy. Puck on the line. Guy comes out of nowhere, bats it down. They go the other way.
Did you see it? The guy had his hands up.
Yeah. That's brutal.
Yeah.
And then more juniors. Connor Bedard has 70 goals and 129 points in the last 77 games spread across the WHL, U18, U20 tournaments, and he just turned 17 in mid-July. So
this is why teams are tanking.
You know what the craziest fucking thing about this? This is how good this kid is. Think about the last 77 games you played at beer league or pickup. The last 77 times you've been on the ice.
Yeah.
Have you put a puck in the net 70 times, and including warm-ups?
I would say maybe 7 times.
Yeah. Like, it's insane. The shit that this kid's doing. He's doing it supposedly against the best kids of his age and older. Yeah, that's
he's
work.
playing
That
younger.
kid's going to be a fucking star, dude. That kid is everything I wish the Rangers got in the first overall pick and more. And no. Fucking classic Rangers, which we will get into in a little bit. I don't know if you saw the Nils Lundqvist news, but
nice.
They need to stop. Yeah, we'll get into it. Detroit, they signed Philip Zadina for 3 years, $5.47, $1.82 million AAV. Kind of a rough thing for the guy who said that. Everybody who got drafted in front of him, the teams are going to regret it because he was going to fill the net. Not so much. Dallas, Jake Onger, 3 years, 12 mil, 4 a year. Fink wrote an article about it.
Fink broke it down great, and he spelled out how they still have room for Robertson. So yeah, check that article out. And the other thing I saw today, this could be the blueprint for the Bruins on re-up and Swayman.
Yep. I think this is great. I mean, the show he put on against Calgary in the playoffs was
sick. Yep.
I'd be happy. Oh, Jesus. Boston. They brought back Patrice Bergeron, 1 year, 2.5. Stand-up fucking guy, because if that guy went anywhere else in the NHL, he's making 7?
Probably. Short term, yeah.
David Krejci, 1 year, $1 million. I'm sure these are loaded with bonuses.
Incentives, yeah.
Yeah. Pavel Zacha, after arbitration, 1 year at 3.5. I don't like that guy. We'll see how he does it with the Bruins. Well, I don't like him because he's from Jersey, and you never fall in love with the Jersey Shore, dude. So
Mark Recchi came out the last few days saying that the Bruins, that he's going to be good for the Bruins. His opinion, that he said he's more talented than Haula, which is kind of a slap in the face to Haula to come out like that and say it. But I just want to say, just for a moment, throughout all of this, I kept the faith that this was going to happen. So.
I knew that this was going to happen when they fired Cassidy, and DeBrusk was like, "I take away my trade request." And then
I talked to DuPont.
It had to have worked out that way because Bergeron hadn't resigned yet, and if they fired Cassidy, they did that knowing it was going to affect whatever decision Patrice Bergeron made, meaning that this guy did not have the room at all.
When I interviewed DuPont. For those of you that haven't listened, it was a special episode. Kevin Paul DuPont of the Boston Globe, long time.
Hal texted me. He goes, "You guys, what? How did you pronounce his last name?"
DuPont.
So he's like, "You got KDP. That's a huge get." Like, Hal was pumped.
Yeah. Hal would be. Yeah, I've read this guy my whole life. He's unbelievable. But anyways, I asked him what he thought about the whole Cassidy thing, and he talked about how he loved Cassidy as a reporter. Cassidy would always tell you the truth, and he was very transparent. It would be tough on players, but he also commented that, and it was great because I felt justified. He was like, the effort I saw from DeBrusk last year and the fact that he came out and said he wanted out when Harry Sinden was the GM of the Bruins, he wouldn't have played again from that moment. He would have been out of here.
Yeah.
And, and he thinks maybe he lost the room, but he goes, his thing, what did he call it? he called it his tea leaves. It wasn't even like allegedly like we do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He said in his thoughts and his tea leaves, what he thinks happened is that the old man, Jeremy Jacobs, saw all these people wanting out and all this stuff in the paper. And he leaned on the son, Charlie, who then leaned on Neely and Sweeney. And Neely and Sweeney weren't going to fire themselves. So what do? You fire the coach. And he made the argument, and he said last year, I said the last 3 years, that Cassidy had a better run the last 3 years, in my opinion, than Sweeney and Neely did. So
I just think it's awfully strange. Krejci leaves, you fire Cassidy, and Krejci comes back. Same with DeBrusque. I mean, you got to keep your people happy. And listen, if he was loved, you're telling me that wouldn't have affected what Patrice Bergeron did this summer?
Yeah.
So, Pittsburgh extends Mike Sullivan for 3 years. I hate Mike Sullivan just because, like, there's just something fucking about him. But I'll tell you this. It's a good fucking coach, dude. I mean, it's probably pretty easy having Sidney Crosby on your team and, like, Malkin and Letang and shit. And I think overall the Penguins definitely, I think they're deeper than Edmonton. So, you can kind of compare them because you have the Crosby McDavid, right? But I just don't know. I feel like Pittsburgh's done very well. I think their coach.
Well, I think that you can speak to Sullivan, and not necessarily him. It's probably his assistant, but he puts the assistants in that position to succeed with what they went through with goalies over the last 3 or 4 years. You know, and then they have to reshuffle the D, and they play a different style depending on who the goalie is. So, yeah, you got to give it to him.
Yeah. So good for him, 3 years. The New York Islanders, they made a ton of moves, guys. Free agency, they were fucking ready to go.
This is why this is in here.
Yeah. So at the deadline, per cap friendly, they had $11 million in space, announced no signings of relevance until this week when they announced the following signings. Noah Dobson, 3 years at $12 million. It's 4 a year. Dennis Cholowski, 2 years, figures not reported. Arnon Durandro, 2 years, figures not reported. Paul Ledoux, 2 years, figures not reported. Hudson Fasching, 2 years, figures not reported. Hudson Fasching is the only one I know on that list. He played for the U.S. World Junior team. The spin out of Long Island is that last year's team faced a season-opening road trip and unprecedented losses due to COVID, and that their team is a playoff team as assembled. The man games lost stats don't hold up against this argument. However, as the Islanders were in the middle of the pack for man games lost, injury COVID this season.
So that's their spin. Their spin is that they lost all these man games, and they COVID decimated them, and they overcame all this adversity, blah blah blah. But then there's I mean, you can't bullshit, and maybe this is Lou being old school. You can't bullshit the stats anymore.
Yep.
And there's websites that track man games lost, and the Islanders were in the top half. They didn't.
And they got rid of Barry Trotz, so it's gonna be interesting to see what the fuck happens there. Calgary traded Sean Monahan in a conditional 2025 first round pick to Montreal in exchange for future considerations. They were just trying to, clear up that cap space because they went and signed Nazem Kadri, 7 years, $49 million, 7 a year. Per 32 Thoughts, podcast players that were unsigned around the league had been texting Kadri to sign already. The Flames also signed. Wow, I didn't know that. So they wanted to get the ball rolling.
Yeah, everyone was kind of waiting for Kadri to do something, and that's what they said on 32 Thoughts. They were like, people were texting Kadri. I guess he admitted it.
Flames also signed Andrew Mangiapane, 3 years, 17.4. This is a kid that came on last year and just fucking filled the back of the net. Gritty little player. Kadri also took the cup to his hometown mosque in London, Ontario, becoming the first Muslim player to win the cup and the first time Lord Stanley has visited a mosque. Pretty cool.
Yeah, good for him.
Monumental. The Flames also re-signed Jonathan Huberdeau, 8 years, $84 million. The contract is a full no-move clause for the first 6, and then a list of 12 teams for the last 2 years. Do you remember when they lost Gaudreau and Tkachuk? We were like, oh, my God.
So Brad Treliving, GM of the year, right?
Yeah, considering that, what this guy was able to do to recoup that,
that
ain't bad.
So what he did is he got so it was Moynihan, Gaudreau, and Tkachuk for Kadri, Weegar, and Huberdeau.
And I would take the first 3, as I think everybody would, but
not a bad backup.
It's not like you got fucking hosed. Like,
and they may have the best defense in the Western Conference.
Yeah, I remember seeing that and being like, wow, dude, like that guy deserves a pat on the back. He earned
GM of the year. Give it to him now.
Winnipeg signed Mason Appleton, 3 years, 6.3. That's a $2.1 million a year. Carey Price. Canadians Kent Hughes confirmed that Price will be on long-term injured reserve for the entire 2022-23 season, which will give Montreal the cap flexibility to fit Monahan's deal. I don't know if there's a path for Carey to turn the season. To put in perspective what Carey has done through his career. His entire career, he played with one 80-point player. That was Kovalev in Price's rookie year. Compare that to Colorado, who had 4 just on this year's roster alone.
And his international, like he's still, in my opinion, he's a Hall of Famer because international play. Well, it's hockey Hall of Fame. It's not NHL Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So his international puts him over the top because if you ask for years, if you ask any NHLer who they want on their team as a goalie, they all pick Carey Price.
Yeah, but I saw somebody put out it was like Carey Price on one side, Henrik Lundqvist on the other side with their stats like side by side, and it's like,
well, international play, yeah, they're on different teams. And this one, another thing about Carey Price, do you remember the NHL awards when he didn't have a pocket square?
Yeah,
and his wife gave him her panties. I mean, legend.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking cool, dude. Tampa Bay Lightning signed Philip Myers 1 year, 1.4.
Because apparently Tampa Bay, they can shake out the couch somewhere in the players' lounge and find another million. I don't understand how they do this. I really don't.
They just do, man. It's fucking crazy. I don't know. Colorado head coach Jared Bednar helped organize the 5th annual Humboldt Broncos Memorial Day golf tourney and brought the cup to help raise money. He has no links with with Humboldt, but grew up a few hours away and played against them when he was younger. Stand up,
just guy. A solid guy. Cool. And it was something like he raised like 500,000 or something. It was a big number.
That's a fucking. Think about the first time you win a cup, how you probably want to and then you want to just do whatever the fuck you want to do with it. Not saying that you wouldn't want to do this, but that's just fucking really cool.
Yeah.
I'm a Bednar guy now.
Yeah, for sure.
They also signed your boy Anton Bleed and Ryan Murray for 1 year, $750 each. Pretty cheap for Bleed. I thought he was pretty decent.
4th liner there. So
yeah.
They have their pricing structure. I feel like Colorado
They're gonna suck. They're gonna suck.
Colorado?
Yep.
Okay.
They won't suck. They won't be as good as they were. They have Alex Georgiev in that. They're gonna have a fucking clue what's gonna go on there.
Okay. Yeah. All right. We'll see.
OHL, Laura Fortino named OHL's first female assistant coach with Hamilton Bulldogs.
Good for her.
Nashville signed Yakov Trenin to a 2-year, $3.4 million contract after going through arbitration.
That's the second arbitration run for Nashville, wasn't it? Didn't they have someone else go through? Was it Ethan Bear?
No, he was
in Carolina, right?
Yeah, he was in Carolina. The only thing that I kind of remember about Nashville is they got Nino Niederreiter, and that guy really fucking impressed me during playoffs. But the Devils, they signed Jesper Bratt to 1 year, $5.45 million contract. I love this just because, you would think they would try to lock that fucking guy up. He's so good.
He doesn't want it.
Nope. Miles Wood, 1 year, 3.2. Tell you what, man, next offseason, you get rid of Ryan Reeves' contract. You're kind of looking. I would fucking love Miles Wood on that. A very poor man, Tom Wilson. IHF Women's World Championship. USA wins over Canada in the preliminary round during the top seed and matched up against Hungary, who they beat 12-1. Switzerland defeated Japan 2-1 in a shootout, and Czechia bested Finland in overtime. Canada got the W over Sweden 3-0, setting up a possible meeting between arch rivals Canada and US for the gold. The matchups for Saturday are USA, Czechia, Canada, Sweden. The medal games will be on Sunday, and all games this weekend are available on NHL Network in the US and TSN in Canada.
This is a good tournament.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. Did you see any of the videos of the Japanese players, what they do when they leave the ice?
No.
They go across their own blue line and they bow in every direction to the fans. And then as they skate off the ice, as they're skating out the door, they turn back around and bow once last to the whole ice surface. So that was kind of cool. Oh, what was the other one I saw? Maybe it was Czechia again, but it was the men. There was 6 players that like to be the last person off the ice, so they got at the net and they did a whole tournament of rock paper scissors till they got to one guy and he won. He got to be the last guy off. It's pretty good.
Fair enough. Buffalo, they signed Tage Thompson 7 years, $50 million, $7.14 a year. Buffalo continues to build the NHL competitive roster. They interviewed Kyle Poso. I forget who interviewed him, but he talked about Tage Thompson and how, like, in practice, they could tell, like, he was one of the best players there, but he was, like, too nervous to put it together in a game, and then he broke out.
Figured it out.
So
I did a little bit of a deep dive into Buffalo because I like this team.
So Jeff Skinner, Tage Thompson, Victor Olofsson, Payne Krebs, Casey Middlestat, Alex Tuck, Rasmus Asplund, Dylan Cousins, just Jack Quinn, and then
that's a solid top 3 lines.
Yeah, it's not bad. Matthias Samuelson, Erasmus Dahlen as their first D pair. Matthias Samuelson, who went to Northwood. Shout out Joey Moore, one of my buddies who played with him. And then Owen Power and Ilya Lyubushkin. Nailed it. Craig Anderson keeps net warm until Devin Levi finishes up NCAA. An additional shout out to the Sabres for having 2 players named Rasmus on the roster.
Rasmus is a good name. That'd be a good name for like a German Shepherd.
I guess so, man. I think more of like the Burmese mountain dog.
Oh, yeah. I feel like Rasmus has an edge to it.
A little bit.
Like a Bernese mountain dog Popeye would be just as good.
Popeye or Pickles, dude.
Yeah, there you go.
San Jose signed Mario Ferraro, 4 years, 13 mil, 3.25. I feel like that's a pretty big deal for a guy that I don't think I've really heard of before.
Yeah. Well, how often do you watch San Jose?
I think I have a pretty good like handle on the league where I think if somebody signed for 3.25, I should at least know who they are. So I'm going to be watching this guy this year.
Mike Greer.
Yep.
His first big signing, right?
Patty Kane rumors swirling. Edmonton, Toronto, Buffalo, your New York Hockey Rangers. The Blackhawks re-up. Caleb Jones 1 year, 3.5. Signed Cup champion Jack Johnson 1 year, 950. He needs the money. But where's Patty Kane going?
I know you want him on the Rangers, and that would be great. Right?
Depending on what you give up for him, how we do this year, if you put him on a fucking line with Panarin, dude,
that would be unbelievable. I agree.
Yeah.
But if you take the Rangers out of it, right, I would want him on.
Yeah, dude, he's from.
I'd want him to go home. I think that would be great. I mean, obviously, I'd say the Bruins, right? But I think it'd be a great story if he went back to Buffalo.
The only team I wouldn't root for him on this list would be Toronto.
Yeah, yeah, because no one likes Toronto, honestly.
It's I don't know. Paul Stastny 1 year, 1 mil for Carolina. I think this is a sneaky good deal for a lower level center.
I agree. That's another one I was like, come on.
Yeah, he's good on draws too. Martin Necas, 2 years, 6 mil. Newly acquired Max Pacioretty's out 6 months with Achilles injury.
Yep. 1 step forward, 1 step back. Carolina Hurricanes.
We're gonna talk Wayne Gretzky, the great one. Couldn't be more fitting nickname. If you took away every single goal that Wayne Gretzky,
this is insane, dude.
Yeah, it's nuts. He'd still be the NHL's all-time point leader. Gretzky tallied 1963 assists in his career, while the next player on points list is Yager with 1921.
That's insane.
Right
Take
there,
every goal he's ever scored, and he still leads in points.
I don't know how many cups he's won. He's won a lot of cups.
Gretzky?
Yeah. I think Tom Brady has 5 or 6, right? Michael Jordan has some. So, and if you're kind of determining championships, I kind of get that, whatever. There's not a single player for their sport. That record will never be broken. Ever.
The points?
Ever.
Yeah. Unless something unforeseen happens, like they increase the size of the nets or extend the season or something like that,
Ever. And I'm talking any sport. I know it took a long time for Bonds to catch Maris and all that shit, but he was roided up. But at the same time,
so
Aaron Judge is probably going to hit 62 home runs this year. So he's still kind of close. I would consider that broken. Basketball, nobody's ever going to be Michael Jordan, ever. Football, nobody's ever going to be Tom Brady. But there's a possibility that it can happen. You know what I mean? But you look at nobody's ever gonna do this, dude.
It's insane. And the thing is, he's not built like Bufflin. You know what I mean? He's 165 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah, and Tom Brady, great quarterback, right? He has some stats, he has some championships and shit. Wayne Gretzky has championships, and his stats are just
I was at his bar in Toronto once, and they have a scorebook from one of his youth leagues or something, and the points he was putting up, it was just like 20 games, 200 points. It was insane.
He had more 5-point games 85 than 0-point games 74. There was a quote. He said it was the year he retired. He knew he was going to retire when he only scored 9 goals that year. And everybody's like, come on, Wayne, you still got it. And he's like, no, man, I used to score 9 on a good weekend.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And then Paul Coffey in an athletic interview, people ask me how the hell did Gretzky ever get 215 a season? And my answer is always he was trying to score 300. He went on to say you'll never confuse Wayne with someone who liked the weight room or the bikes. But I'll tell you what, that 45 minutes, however long we were on the ice for practice, no one worked harder than him. And every time he was on the ice, he wanted to score. They made us all better. Steel sharpens steel.
Yeah.
I love that. That's what we got for hockey. We'll do beer league, Rangers, Bruins, whatever it is. But dump and change, Brownie, do it up.
Oh, yeah, sorry. R.I.P. Olivia Newton-John passed away at the age of 70, peacefully at a ranch in Southern California earlier this month. The singer-actress had battled cancer for over 30 years.
I'll tell you what, dude. There's nothing hotter than like a blonde chick that wears a leather jacket and smokes cigarettes, and it's because of Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah, fair. That was the transformation in that movie when I was a kid. I was like, doing. I was like, wait,
yeah.
something changed here.
Doing and like, smoking cigarettes is kind of cool. Like, what is going on? All-time rocket. And she battled health issues her whole life.
30 years, right? Cancer, I think of various types, breast cancer and stuff.
But I think when she was doing Grease, she was fucking feeling something. I forget what it was. Keep going. I'm gonna look it up.
Oh God, this story. So police outside Pittsburgh and Kane, maybe? I don't know how you say that, are on the lookout for a pet python that escaped while the owner was, quote, taking the snake for a walk. I mean, honestly, how fucking dumb. The python, which is reported to be close to 7 foot, is an albino and supposedly not in a danger to adults. But do you want to be laying out in your backyard getting some sun while there's a 7-foot python loose outside Pittsburgh?
So sometimes I think of people who do especially heinous crimes. I watch a lot of really creepy documentaries and shit. Mm-hmm. And they're in jail. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, why don't we put them motherfuckers on a spaceship and just launch them to the moon? Right? Save us the money. This bitch would be riding shotgun. What are you doing?
Snake? Are you kidding me?
So it's just it's infuriating how fucking stupid people can be.
Yeah, agreed. The NFL, speaking of,
also, there's no way that girl smells good. If you're fucking walking a snake on a fucking...
Well, I don't know if it was a girl. We don't know that.
Oh, we don't know who it was?
No, someone was walking it.
Oh, I thought... Well, regardless, whatever human is doing this smells fucking terrible. The hygiene has to be the worst maybe on the planet Earth.
Snakes are just not pets.
Exactly. You think they smell fucking good?
Yeah, fair. The NFL and the NFL Players Association have agreed to an 11-game suspension for Deshaun Watson. The settlement includes a fine of $5 million that will go to charity, which is a drop in the bucket because he signed for $260 million. And of course, the first game back for Watson is against Houston, his former team. I was reading somewhere where everyone was saying it should have been 12 games, but the NFL was like, wait a minute. This way, if we make it 11, his first game back's against his former team, and he'll have all the ratings.
Bro, some football player, I don't know his name, bet $1,500 on his
Calvin Ridley.
And he got suspended for the year.
Yep.
For the year.
Yep.
This dude forced hand jobs on how many women?
30 women, yeah.
11 games?
Yeah. Calvin Ridley is he's a good receiver, but he's not the talent that Deshaun Watson is. That's one.
It doesn't fucking matter.
No. I listen, I agree with you that it's wrong. I'm just telling you why it happened. And the other fact is the NFL, with the Raiders in Vegas and being all up in DraftKings, they don't want to have any the slightest hint of, players gambling. So, yeah, I don't think if you're an NFL employee for any team, I don't think you can gamble at all. So, yeah, I agree with you. It's insane. Well, this is even more insane. Of course, the American Massage Therapy Association is having its convention in Cleveland this month. Who's the booker for that group that they were maybe we should
one of those cool moments in sports. You remember both fucking what the fuck? Victor Rask? No. Both Sebastian Aho scored at the same time night last year. The massage therapy.
We have a sports moment coming up. You're gonna love it. Did you see this? The LA Dodgers reporter David Vassy.
This was fucking hilarious.
So he went down the slide at the Brewers Park while live on the Brewers Park in Milwaukee, live on the air.
And if you need, like, the Brewers Park is legendary for this slide. Like, I remember the one
the mascot does it, right? On home run.
They have a cool field.
Doesn't the mascot does the slide on home runs,
so.
right? Well, the mascot is in a padded suit, and the reason why is when this guy went down the slide, he broke his hand, wrist, and six ribs when he crashed into the bottom. The other announcers couldn't stop laughing, and he talked through the entire ride. I think the only thing he said at the end was like, "Holy cow," or something like that. So shout out to him for keeping it together.
Baseball low-key has some of the funniest fucking moments ever. Like that Nick Castellanos guy when the announcer's like, and Nick, and every time something like an announcer talk about something serious hits home run, like this is right up with it. And the fact that the announcers couldn't stop laughing while they like introduced him made it even funnier.
That just shows they're all buddies, because if it was one of your friends, you'd be dying laughing.
Yeah.
So Tyson Fury, this was in the show notes last week.
This is the guy we like, right? This isn't the dude fighting Jake Paul. This is
no. This is the Gypsy guy. Yeah, the Gypsy King. So he retires. I finally decided to walk away, and on my 34th birthday, I say bon voyage. That was last week. This week, because this lasted less than a week, he told the WBC yesterday that he intends to keep fighting.
Yeah.
The NBA has decided to retire Bill Russell's number 6 across the entire NBA. Well deserved.
I think it's well deserved. But my question for you is when Jordan passes away, they have to retire 23 then.
Yeah, I agree. Yep, I agree.
All right.
Did you see this? The Little League World Series. This is a little while ago. So a kid got up to plate.
I hated this. I fucking hated every second of this.
Isaiah Jarvis. The pitcher, Caden Shelton, hit Isaiah Jarvis on the side of the head. Jarvis fell to the ground, but was all right and took first. Once at first, Jarvis could see the pitcher was rattled and visibly upset. So Jarvis walked to the mound to console Shelton and let him know he was all right.
If I'm the kid's dad,
you're going to get mad, but they're 12 years old.
If my kid goes over and just checks on him, hey, all right, dude, everything's okay, goes back, I'm proud of him. My kid stands there and hugs him. I'm thinking, what the fuck are you doing right now?
Well, I don't know their history if they knew each other, because it was Oklahoma and East Texas. So
there's no fucking history. You are in Williamsport. It might not have been in Williamsport, but that's where the finals are, to win a fucking championship. Like, I don't care if you're 12. Like, the coolest part about sports is winning. Like, that's why you play sports. You don't play sports, not the fucking.
I can see both sides of this. I knew you were going to have that reaction.
But like, at the same time, if my kid went up to him and was like, "Hey man, you all right?" and give him like a pat on the ass and went back to first, I'm proud of him.
Well, I don't think it was like a long embrace. I think he just gave him
like a quick long embrace. He fucking stood there and like hugged the shit out of this kid.
Oh really? Oh, maybe the other kid was upset. Whatever.
I hate it.
All right, so this one, I don't know if you saw this, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm going to believe it's true because it was hilarious. The Milwaukee Brewers found something new to rally around during a game Tuesday night. The Brewers were trailing the Pirates by 2 in the 8th. Where the scoreboard at American Family Field put up messages from the crowd, happy birthday, etc. One such message said, quote, "Mark, your friendship means the world to me. Let's not wreck it," end quote.
The players tough. That is tough.
Well, I hope it's true. It's probably not, but I hope it's true because it's hilarious, right?
Wait, so like, let's say it is true. Does that mean Mark is with this chick at the game and he looks up and he sees that and then he looks
or maybe he's been trying and he's going to the game with his buddies and she put it up as a way to tell him? I don't know. I hope it's true because it's hilarious.
So bad for that guy.
So the Brewers rallied. The Brewers saw the message, and per left fielder Christian Yelich after the game, they said, "Let's win one for Mark," and they rallied back to win the game 7-5. So Mark, being put in the friend zone, rallied them, which is hilarious.
That's fucking funny. The boys are like, "Oh, that poor fucking."
Yeah, because everybody's been there. All right, so here's your only in sports moment.
No, nobody's been there. Nobody has ever had a girl.
No. I mean,
I know.
Yeah. All right. All right. So here's your sports moment. This one's gonna blow you away.
I didn't see this. This was crazy.
Serena Williams is playing in her last U.S. Open, and the other night there was a wild stat regarding her and Albert Pujols. So, courtesy of baseball blogger Dan Clark, on August 20, what?
Attaboy Clarky.
Oh, on August 29th, 2001, Serena Williams won at the U.S. Open, and Albert Pujols hit a home run. That same night, Vladimir Guerrero Sr., Craig Biggio, and Dante Bichette all recorded a Major League Baseball hit. Exactly 21 years later, on August 29, 2022, Serena Williams won at the U.S. Open, Albert Pujols hit a home run, and Vad Galero Jr., Cavan Biggio, and Bo Bichette all recorded. So their kids all recorded Major League Baseball hit. That's insane.
How did this guy find the stat?
I have no idea. He's a baseball blogger. I feel it's right in his wheelhouse.
That's crazy.
So, do you have a favorite sea animal? You personally?
Do I have a favorite sea animal?
Yeah.
Growing up, I had two. I loved the killer whale. I think they're fucking cool. Like the whole makeup of them, that they're just fucking savages. Actually,
I have a killer whale tattoo planned, by the way.
I like that. I have three. So the killer whale. The number two, hammerhead shark.
Mm.
There was just something fucking weird about that thing where I'm like, I like that one more than the great white. It was kind of like the velociraptor of sharks.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Good comparison.
That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad
good.
at all.
That was good.
And then, dude, it's hard to hate on dolphins, man. Like, I feel like there's not a happier fucking critter in the world than a dolphin.
Well, yeah. I like those. I would add a walrus in there. I like walruses. And have you ever seen a sea?
If you were in the ocean, dude, if you were in the ocean, a walrus swam up to you, would you not shit your pants?
I don't know.
Oh, I would, absolutely. It's like a fucking bear with giant teeth in the fucking middle of the ocean.
See, I think a walrus is like, I think it'd be friendly.
Yeah, but like the moment it like growls at you or something.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever seen the movie Tusk? Have you ever seen that movie Tusk?
No.
Kevin Smith movie? It's weird.
Shocking.
If you get high, you like it. I also like the leopard seal. They're pretty savage. But anyways, there's these two killer whales that have been terrorizing great white sharks off the coast of South Africa over the last 5 years, and they're finally putting it all together. It's the same killer whales.
How do they know that?
By their markings. All the killer whales, every marking is distinct.
Like a snowflake.
Sure. Yes. Yeah.
My brain is cooking right now.
So they have refined their hunting ability so that they get the great white from below, and they cut out the liver of the great white shark with surgical precision, feed on the organ while the shark is dying, and then leave the rest of the shark to wash up on shore. Apparently, a great white liver can weigh in the neighborhood of 600 pounds. And in some of the attacks, the orcas, which they've been nicknamed port and starboard, have also cut out the shark's heart.
Bro, how heavy are fucking great white sharks?
Well, these sharks that these whales are killing are like 9 to 15 feet long.
Oh my God. I
don't know how
fucking scared if can you imagine seeing a 15-foot fucking great white shark?
So there's a part of Africa, South Africa, where I want to say it's like Great White Alley or Shark Alley or something like that, because they feature it on Shark Week.
Mm-hmm.
And the seals have to run this gauntlet. And the sharks are just ripping them to
fucking
shreds.
Oklahoma drill.
Yeah, because it looks like it. The seals go flying up in the air and everything. The sharks are jumping after them. And there's these sharks have been just kicking ass there for years. Well, these two orcas have figured it out, and they're there now preying on the orcas. Dude, there was a killer whale spotted off of Massachusetts coast this summer.
Bro, so I got my hunting license a few years ago, so I'm gonna start hunting
orcas.
No, I'm gonna hunt deer. I fucking hate deer. I have a personal vendetta against them. Like, dude, this is a true story. I used to do like a little burn cruise back in the day, and I'd have the same loop. So one night I'm doing my thing, and all of a sudden, bam! I'm like, what the fuck? Put the car in park. I'm like, did I just hit somebody? It's like night out. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? I look over. There's a deer running in the wood. I have a giant fucking dent.
So it's like Tommy Boy.
On my passenger side door.
You put him in the back seat.
Story. Not 2 weeks later, I'm doing the same fucking thing, driving same fucking spot. Bam! This side on the driver door, and I'm like, what the fuck? Put in park lookout. I had matching giant fucking dents on this black car, and it was a 2-door car, so each door was bent to shit. 2 months later, I'm driving home from my buddy Dave's house, and it's like 3:00 in the morning, and it snowed, so like the roads were really slippery. I'm driving. I think I'm like went to send a text. I look up, and I don't know what you call more than one deer. I'm gonna call them a flock. They were probably like four to 5 deer in the middle of the road. There ain't shit I can do. Hammer the brakes. I fucking do a full 360, and I must have hit every single one of these fucking deer, dude. Totaled my car. Car shut off. When it turned back on, I'm in the middle of the fucking road. Not one deer's dead. They all fucking ran right off. And I'm like, what the fuck? Finally get the car to start back up. I muscled this thing to my driveway. Like, dude, I was probably like 4 miles away from my house. I might have went 5 miles an hour. I had no lights, middle of the fucking thing. Like, hit it so hard that when I'm driving home, every once in a while, the horn would start fucking going off. I get into my fucking driveway, 3:30. I walk in, wake up my dad. I'm like, Dad. He's like, what? I'm like, hey, you got to come look at my car. And he's like, we'll do it in the morning. I was like, nah, man, I think you kind of got to look now. He comes out, he looks. Dude, it is crazy that my airbag didn't go off. Like, the entire front of my car is mangled. I don't have a fucking mirror on one of my doors. He's like, all right, we'll worry about it in the morning. Next morning, I wake up, walk downstairs. He's like, all right, I'm going to need you to drive back to where you hit that deer. We got to find your mirror. I go, find my mirror for what? He's like, well, I'm going to tape it back on. I'm like, you're out of your fucking mind if you think I'm driving that car anyway. Dude, mangled. Like mangled. So we called like an insurance guy. He comes out, looks at it. You know, like every once in a while there may be some time if it's totaled or not. Looks at it and goes, "Yep, I'll call the truck right now. That's fucking totaled." Hate deer. So anyway,
that might be my favorite story you've ever told me.
It's brutal. So I'm trying to learn.
I would like to think of this from the other side, of you. I hope that these deer are like, here comes that fucking stoner kid again. Bro, hey, Jimmy, you hit him this night.
Like, dude, not even like kind of hit my car. Like they were running full tilt right directly into the side of the car.
Like it was a dare. Like it was a dare.
It was wild. So I hate deer. So this year I'm going to start hunting deer. I'm going to shoot as many fucking deer as I can. I hate them. Like hate them.
Okay.
Now I hate deer, but we're talking about like sea animals and shit. And I saw this video on TikTok and there's this fucking big ass sea turtle swimming towards this boat. And you see this shark behind this sea turtle and this shark bites the turtle and the turtle's trying to get on the boat. And the people are like, oh no, what's going on? And I felt really bad. Do you think that's going to change when I go to shoot a deer, or am I just going to be like, fuck this deer? Like, do you think I have like that heart for like an animal?
I'm not a hunter, so I'm probably the worst person to ask because
I love fishing. I love fishing.
Fishing,
like,
fishing doesn't hit the same. I think if you don't make a clean hit and you walk up to the deer and it's struggling on its way out the door, I think you're done.
I know, but I'm also going to be going with my neighbor, and he's done that before, and he would be the kind of guy where it's like, girl, fucking set and shoot it again. And I'd be like, well, I can't be a pussy. Like,
yeah.
But I'm trying to get as much. I'm trying to bring some fucking jerky back to my people in St. Louis and shit for Summit Week and all that stuff. So I'm pretty pumped. Actually, next weekend I'm going to my buddy's. It's a hunting cabin. We're just going to drink beers and shoot guns. So it should be pretty fun. That's what I'm doing next Friday.
Upstate New York?
No, we're going to Vermont. I doubt we're gonna have reception. We're taking a couple side by sides. Like, dude, I don't think there's a bathroom at this place. Like, it's gonna be something. So,
all right. Well, that's it for Dump and Change, and that was a fantastic deer story.
Yeah. All right.
This is why you hate JT Miller's tattoo.
Yeah. The Rangers named Jacob Trouba their 28th team captain.
Yep.
If he continues to play like he played last year, I'm all for this, dude. Like. He killed people last year.
Would you get a Trouba jersey?
No,
not yet.
I just don't. He's never gonna have like that Messier kind of fucking thing. Like it's never gonna be like that. I don't think he's ever gonna be like that type of captain. I like him a lot. If he continues to play this way for the next couple of years and he's just killing people, I'd have to strongly consider it. But I'm just like I'm more of a Ryan Lindgren guy. You know what I mean? Like that's more my. I've never wanted the jersey of the best player on the team. I've always liked the character guys. Like I have a Jed Ortmeyer jersey, a Matt Zuccarello jersey. I have a Brian Leach jersey, so that might be like one of the ones that was like kind of.
But on that team, Leach wasn't the star either.
Right. I love those character guys.
I get you.
Like
listen, I would get a Barclay Goodrow shirt if I was a Ranger fan.
Yeah, but how do you feel about this?
What
about Trouba being captain?
Oh. I thought you were like, how do you feel about this? And then we're going to give me some scenario. No, I think it's a good one. I think, I had said it was going to be him or Goodrow. I think they have too many young guys and their other offensive guys are not captain material. I don't mean to be that like.
Maybe Lafreniere like years from now.
But... Right. Or, you don't know what's going to happen with Fox, I think, but the guys up front, Mika, Kreider.
No, I agree.
Aaron, they're not captains.
I agree.
But they can wear the A on, do a rotation like the Bruins do.
I agree with that.
So, No, I think you want your captain either to be your clearly best player like McDavid, or the guy who does everything like Bergeron or Crosby, right?
Mhm.
Or your truck stick of a defenseman like Trouba. I think it's got to be one of those three.
People battle for him, and I guess there were reports when it happened, nobody was surprised. Like, he was like the captain anyway, kind of thing. So
I did see a thing with Panarin made a video, and he was like, "I should have
should
been
be.
me," but yeah, it was pretty fun.
Aaron's cool.
I like when players like Panarin will show their personality a little bit.
Yeah. Just really quick. So Nils Lundqvist requested a trade. He was the first round pick a couple years ago. He was the guy who was supposed to be our 5'6" defenseman this year. Didn't exactly light it up. Braden Schneider jumped over him. I don't think it's him being pissed off at management. It's just the fact that he wants a quarterback, a power play, and like Adam Fox is going to be there forever. The Rangers need to stop drafting these soft ass fucking European players. Elias Anderson, giant pussy. Vitaly Kravtsov, take my ball and go home. He's playing this year, and now you have Nils Lundqvist the same way. I am so fucking over this shit. Like, it used to be you got drafted and you were super excited and you were so proud to be a member of this team, and now it's just like whoever they're fucking drafting thinks that shit should just get given to them, and it's fucking.
Who's the head of scouting?
It was Gordy Clark, but I think he just left this year.
So we'll see going forward. I wonder if Drury looked at it the same way as you did and was like, "Thanks, but no thanks. See you later."
But you kind of look at our last however many prospects, like Lafreniere, Capo, they were up there.
I think Lafreniere is going to grow into like a Ryan Callahan type.
I think the one who has kind of impressed me the most out of all of them in the last number of years is Keandre Miller. I think stud, absolute fucking stud. So, stop drafting the Euros. Fucking start drafting some good old fucking Western Canadian boys that love to fucking bang bodies and drink beers. And
what do you think about it though? When Drury comes in, so he's got to fix the on ice product first, right? Mm-hmm. And the coaching and get all that squared away. And then the next thing is the scouting, I would think. I mean, I'm not a GM, obviously, but I would think that would be the linear way to fix things, you know?
Dude, this Brennan Othman kid that they had that played for the Canadian World Junior team, did you see any of his hits?
Mm-mm.
He was lighting people up, dude. He scored a goal between the legs, like in the pre-tournament games.
Yeah.
He has a lot of fucking swagger to him, dude. He just broke the record for most goals in a single season for the Flint Firebirds. I think they're gonna have to send back to junior, which sucks because he's that age where you either go to junior or the NHL.
Yep.
He already proved everything he has to do in junior. That's the dumbest fucking rule. Like, start letting these kids play in the fucking AHL. I don't care. Oh, we need jobs. Fuck that. Like, if you're good enough to play, you're good enough to play. Will Cooley had a pretty good tournament too, and he's trying to battle his way into a bottom six role. We'll see if he makes a team this year, but I'm excited for the fucking season, bud. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, what do you got for the Bees?
Well, Krejci and Bergeron, of course, they poo-pooed anything to do with Cassidy. Krejci came out and said that if that would have been a good story if Cassidy's dismissal was the reason that he came back, but firing Butch had nothing to do with my decision to come back. I mean, what's he gonna say, right? He's not gonna say, "Oh, I'm back," because he's gone. And Bergeron, like you talked about, leaving money on the table and being a team guy, his quote was, "I made more money than I thought I would in hockey. Leaving a few dollars on the table to make sure you're on a good team for years to come is what I wanted to do. That's something that started here before me." The key part of that, leaving a few dollars on the table to make sure you're on a good team for years to come. So maybe this isn't the last ride for Patrice Bergeron, hopefully.
Here we go.
Hey, you never know. But yeah, so they're gonna have Fabian Lysell is gonna have a chance to make the big club out of training camp. We'll see what happens.
I'm pumped about that kid. He can fucking skate, and he's a cocky little bastard, dude. I hope.
He is. So when I talked to DuPont on the interview, we talked about the Bruins. He thinks it all hinges. I mean, this is no great like hockey mind to say this, and nothing against him, but it's pretty obvious. He's like, it all depends on Swayman. Right? If Swayman can be a true number one, then the Bruins are going to be great. And he thinks, by everything DuPont has seen of Swayman, that he has all the tools in terms of his style of play, his confidence, his attitude, everything is there. Just he has to seize it, right? So hopefully he can. That being said, I asked him about Lysell, however you say it, and he said, one of the things is he has a high school build. And he even said, he goes, it sounds kind of weird, but I got to see him in the locker room this year to see what he looks like.
Yeah.
He says like Pasternak got bigger, but Pasternak had like a more solid frame where this kid is more youngster type of frame. So that makes it tougher, obviously, but he has speed for days and depends on how they stack the lines, what happens, because the whole thing is you don't have McAvoy, Grzelcyk, or Marchand for the first month and a half.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a tough one, but it'll be this. Hey, we'll figure out who the number one goalie is, and we got Patrice and Krejci back, so we'll see what happens. Right. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. 40 days.
40 days.
So, there you go.
Barely ground up. I've been skating quite a bit.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm Dak in the Schenectady skate. They have, like, these open skates. It's that EC Mayhem crew that I talk about. I've officially joined their league, which I'm super excited about, dude. The game times, they're every Sunday, 4:30, 6, or 7:30 are the game times on a Sunday.
Yeah, we talked about that. Those are great times. As long as you don't care about the NFL game, it's great.
I'll be in my bed at the latest 9:30, which not bad. I'm excited to play, dude. It's been fucking the first game. I fucking had quite the game. Second game, not so much. The third game, and these are just the skates. These are like before the season starts.
Pickups, yeah.
But boy, if you don't play hockey for a couple months and then you get back on the skates, holy shit, dude. Yeah. But what's weird is like the first couple shifts, I'm dead, and then towards the end, I'm fine.
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, but I'm pumped. Ready to go.
Hey, before we move on to mine, the thing we talked about though, and this would be a good thing for Morning Skate listeners. So Ked's new league is, what did we figure it out? It was like $18 a skate. I think mine's like $22 a skate. And we're just curious, other parts of the country, we're in the Northeast. What do you pay like in Arizona, California? You know what I mean? Yeah. Kansas. Let us know. Reach out to us on, through Twitter or Instagram, what your leagues cost. Just curious for around the country. I think it'll be interesting to see it.
Dude, I'm pumped. So this is the first year they're going to do USA Hockey, so we're going to have refs and shit.
Yep.
Last year they had, if you were there, you could just ref, and they would pay you money, and you would do it. So I was hoping to do that this year, but they're doing USA Hockey. But you can also scorekeep, and they're always looking for scorekeepers. So technically,
like $25 a game or something.
Yeah, dude. So I could play a game, make $50, go home.
Yeah.
So we'll see. That's what I have for Beer League. What do you got?
We had our last summer league game last week. We got pumped 8-0. Ready for this? 8-0 game. I was one of 4 defensemen there, and I left the game even. I wasn't on ice for a single goal.
That's crazy.
My guy. I was saying that in the locker room. We're skating off. I go to the goalie. I go, that was a tough one, bud. He's like, yeah, and I go, I had my guy. He just started laughing.
There was a play that I should have picked up this guy, and the guy scored, and I immediately turned around. There was another kid on their team, and I just kind of hooked into him, and I'm like, I had my guy. They're like, you're such a fucking asshole.
Well, so last night we had our first playoff game, and we ended up winning 3. You say 4-3 in the shootout, right? If it goes to a shootout, so we won 4
scoring game.
Yeah, the goalies were both played really well until the shootout. I was supposed to be the 4th guy in the shootout. Our first 3 guys scored. Their first 3 guys didn't. Game over. I didn't get my chance, but whatever. But there was a play in the game where I did not have my guy. I was playing D. I'm on the right side, and the kid was coming through the neutral zone, and I could see the defenseman looking at him. I was like playing cornerback, like I'm going to pick this one off. And the kid throws this past him, and I think the kid was not that good because I've been playing. It was the 3rd period.
Yeah.
And I think the puck's going to go like explode on him and go to the wall. So I take 2 steps to the wall, and the kid corrals it and walks in alone. I'm like, my bad. I went right over to the goalie. I'm like, dude, that was mine. He's like, no, it's all right, Brownie. But hey, yeah, our goalie, Mike, shout out. He must have had 5 poke checks in front of the net. It was awesome last night. He played great. Dude, and then he shut the door in the shootout.
Nothing more infuriating than going in on a goalie and him poke checking the puck.
Yeah. And so we live to fight. We play for the Summer League Championship next week, I guess.
Can you do me a favor? The next time you're on a breakaway, get to like middle of the circles, like directly in the middle of the net. So like you're maybe like 10 feet away from them, maybe 12 even.
Yeah.
Skate in, just look down and just shoot a 5-hole. It goes in like 85. I don't have any other breakaway move besides that.
I'm supposed to look down at the puck or at him?
I don't even look at him. Like when I'm skating down, I get to right around the middle of the circles and I look down and I think that they think I'm thinking about deking. And I literally just rip it on the ice 5-hole. And I'm like 85% of the time it goes in.
Right. Well, I will say that's better than my normal move, which is to hit him square in the chest.
Like, don't keep it on the ice. Lift it up the ice a little bit, but fucking fire it. Dude, I'm telling you, man. Like, it's automatic. Like, if they stop it, I'm like, whoa.
Was this like Jeremy Roenick in the old NHL game?
And what's cool is if they do stop it, normally the puck goes to the corner and you're on a breakaway, so you get the puck. So it's not like, so that's what we have for beer league.
That's barely.
Dom Moore. Let's do it.
Hey fans, this is Dominic Moore. I'm just going to take you guys through a little bit of the behind the scenes stuff here.
I have 2 heroes.
Go ahead.
First hero, HBO Max. Game of Thrones is back. It's fucking back. And
never seen a single episode.
Oh, it's so good. You're missing out on so many things. So pump that's back to HBO Hard Knocks.
We were talking about, did we talk about that before we recorded?
I think it was before we recorded.
I enjoy Hard Knocks quite a bit, but it's always like, oh, this guy, oh, great backstory. He's getting cut.
Yeah, he's done. And then like just to kind of talk about it, dude. Like I watched The Sopranos on that shit. Like, dude, they have so many good shows on that on HBO Max. If you have it, keep watching. If you don't, get it.
Speaking of shows, you were watching Umbrella Academy also, weren't you?
Love that show.
Did you watch it all the way through?
Yeah.
So I like how they wrapped it all up, but it's still open for
There's another season. I'm pumped about that one. And then my second hero, it's fall. I walked outside last night and I could have had jeans and it was just unbelievable. So, Brownie, what are your 3 favorite things about fall?
We talked about this earlier. So I have a tie for third.
We'll do a Don Moore 3-star little snippet.
1-0. All right, so I have a tie for third.
Mm-hmm.
My third is the better sports, right? Football, hockey, baseball actually means stuff in the fall, right? Yep. So that's all great. And then I love like lasagna, soups. It's that kind of food, chowder, right? So that's number 3. My number 2 is fires.
Yeah, bonfires. Yeah,
bonfire outside in the yard, the fire pit. We have a wood stove that heats the house. We're not right there for that, but I just love having the fires going.
Why do they call it a bonfire?
Because you bond.
There's no D in that, bud.
No, I know, but maybe they just cut the D because bonfire sounds weird.
That's what it is?
I don't know.
I gotta look it up. All right.
And then my number 1, it's not hot. That's my number 1. My number 1 favorite thing about fall is it's not hot.
Yeah.
I would rather be cold than hot any day of the week.
I'm gonna go my 3. I have a tie for 3. It's better sports. And then there's just something about wearing jeans, cowboy boots, and a flannel, dude, walking around fucking just chilling. I love that shit. Number 2, crock pot season. You can start fucking utilizing some chilies, some chicken cacciatore, whatever it might be in that crock pot. And then number 1, my favorite fucking thing about fall is you can roll your windows down and crank your heat at night when you're driving.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing better than that.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so those are my 2 heroes.
All right, so here you go. Bonfire. Late Middle English from bone plus fire. The term originally denoted a large open-air fire on which bones were burnt, sometimes as part of a celebration. Also one for burning heretics or prescribed literature. Oh, so they burned witches and books.
It's kind of creepy, dude, when you think about it. Never do that.
So that's why is it called? Here's another one. Why is it called bonfire? It's actually derived from Middle English bonfire, meaning literally a fire of bones. The earliest appearances of the word is Latin for fire of bones, and a citation from the 15th century confirms that this is not just learned folk etymology. Yeah, whatever. I like my version better. Bonfire.
I don't think I've ever had a true bonfire then.
Because you've never burned bones.
Never burned bones. I don't even know where to get
them. Bones. Weed bones.
That is
counts.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Oh, hey, speaking of weed. So you ready for my day tomorrow?
The Labor Day weekend special.
So So one of the kids who worked for me this summer, great kid, the kid who took the video up at UNH that we put on our socials, he texted me. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna come home for Labor Day. You want to work?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, bud! I'll always like if any of the kids that work for me come home on a random weekend, I always tell them, let me know by Tuesday. I'll take a day off during the week, maybe, or we'll work a Saturday so you can get hours, right?"
Yeah.
Good guy. So we're gonna work tomorrow. I am out of my strain.
Okay, the cool one that you just found.
Insane in the membrane.
Yeah,
because it agrees with me. I am out. So
It agrees with me. Okay.
I did a search, and it's available at a place in Worcester. And I called to confirm. They have the guy told me they have over 38ths in stock, and I was like, perfect. So I have plenty there to get from. So I said to him, I go, "Hey, you want to work till like 5 and we'll shoot down to the dispensary in Worcester?" And he's like, "Hell yeah." Then I was like, "Oh, he also told me about this bar down there." So he's 21 now, so it's all legit. I looked up, it's a mile from the dispensary to this bar. You pay, I think, $7 to get in. It's 21 plus.
Mhm.
It's all classic arcade games
Oh, that's kind of cool.
for free. You don't pay for the game. You just pay the cover charge.
That's not bad.
So it's everything from skee ball and air hockey to Donkey Kong, Dig Dug, Pac-Man, pinball, everything, like the old games. So
yeah, pinball was sick, dude.
Oh, because you could play for hours.
Yeah.
So we're gonna work till like 4, go to the dispensary. The place opens at 5. We're gonna get there at 5, have a couple of beers, play some video games, and I told my wife I'll be home before my daughter's bedtime. So that's my day tomorrow.
You're gonna get fucked up, dude. You know what I was just thinking that we just bought a pinball. Can you imagine having a pinball machine in like your basement or something, and you just hammer that thing, and it's like the best thing ever?
All right, so now we got to save this for our top 3 stars of what video games you would have, or what arcade game would you have in your basement? Top 3.
Well, could you imagine having it for like 3 months, and like you obviously have the high score because nobody else has played it, and like you're really proud of it, and then your buddy comes over and like first try beats your high score,
dominates you.
You would be, oh my god, I would get rid of that. Like definitely, like
I feel like one of your top 3 should be Big Buck Hunter after your rant about deers.
Oh, dude, I would love that shit. Anybody listening want to give me a sick Christmas present? There you go.
So, anyways, I forget where we were. What were we doing?
That was you're gonna get fucked up for your hero.
Oh no, that wasn't my hero. That was just a side story. It's your hero. You had 2
bones. Speaking of bones, because we did bonfire, and you're like, speaking of bones, weed, and then you're like,
yeah, no. But we were on yours. We were on your heroes.
Yeah, but I was done with those. Are my heroes.
Oh, do you have a 0?
I don't think I have a 0, dude. Honestly, like Chipotle shutting the doors on me at 7:58 when it was 8. Like they close at 8.
That's tough.
I got there at 7:58. Like there were still people like clearly eating, just sat down in there. I get it, but also Chipotle, why are you closing at 8 o'clock?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, on a Friday, right? Today was that today?
No. This was like a week or so ago. But
my 0 is as always, it's technology and computers, because we had Ked was very patient. I had a hell of a time. I got some blue error screen that said I had to key in a Microsoft ID 48 character code in order to get my new computer, which is, why does it need updates if it's brand fucking new? Stuff kills me. I should have, and I'm going to whisper this because she's upstairs, but I should have just bought the Mac and not told my wife, and I wouldn't have had these issues.
So like my neighbor keeps doing shit like that. Like he just keeps buying shit, and then he like doesn't tell his wife about it, and then she comes home, she's like, what the fuck's this? Like he just bought this brand new rifle, and he's like, and he comes over and he shows it to me, and he's like, how sick is this? And I'm like checking out, and like, dude, this rifle, if you shoot it at a tree, it'd probably take the fucking tree down. Like depending on how, like it's just super powerful. And he's like, yeah, I'm like, that's sick. And like she pulled into the driveway, and he looks and he goes, don't say a fucking word. I'm like, what do you mean? And then like later that night he texts me, he's like, yep. So I told her. Like,
I got a buddy like that. During the pandemic, he found some guy on Etsy to make him a console video game for like $3,000. It's got like every arcade game, and it's in his basement. I'm like, I don't know how often he plays it. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, I work, I make the money. I'm like, oh my God, how do you even say that to your wife? Dude. And he just bought some gun for like $2,000. I'm like, Jesus. Yeah.
Like, he brought this side by side, and like they were talking about getting a side by side. And then one day I got home and it was just in his driveway. I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
So that's my zero. I have two heroes, just like you did. So did you see this story about the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach, Mike Tomlin?
I don't think so.
So he was driving to his way to training camp and he saw some kids fighting. He pulled to the side and broke up the fight. They were young kids, like 10, 13 in that range. Broke up the fight and then invited the kids to training camp as his guests. He put them through drills, introduced them to players, and spoke to them about responsibility and being good citizens.
Good guy to lead. Fucking cool.
Yeah. So that's a solid move. There's, again, we talk about this stuff. He did not need to do that.
No.
It's just doing the right thing for no. He was not. He didn't do an interview or anything. This was everybody else talking about it.
Bro,
What'd you just think of?
My one of my good buddies, his brother's getting married, so they did like a little bachelor like kind of party over at his mom's house one night.
Yep.
So I go over there, we're having fire. See the guy has a Bruins hat on.
Wait, were you bonding around the fire?
Yeah, I suppose so. Playing horseshoes. I see this guy's a Bruins hat on, so obviously I kind of fucking, just kind of check him out, see if he knows what the fuck he's talking about. Guy knew what he was talking about.
Yep.
So his brother-in-law lives in the same area as Bobby Orr. Like, they live in like this gated community where they golf all the time. He says he's met this guy, that he could not be the nicer dude like ever. Yeah. Somebody passed away, and it was like a big deal, dude. Who the fuck was it?
Recently?
Nah. I think a couple years ago, somebody's like wife or something passed away. Like, he was like a well-known dude, super rich, and they have the wake or whatever. And Bobby Orr shows up to the fucking wake, and they go up to the guy and it's like, "Hey, Bobby Orr's here." And he's like, "Yeah, bring him in." So the guy goes out to grab Bobby Orr, and he's like, "Come on, Mr. Orr." And he goes, "I'm waiting in this line, just like everybody fucking else is waiting in this line." And I was like, "That's a cool dude." And I guess he's wicked, wicked nice. Like, he met this one, the guy's son. When they were golfing, whatever, they get back to the brother-in-law's house. Somebody comes, knocks on the door, and he just gives him a signed like picture of like
the goal.
Yeah. I guess he couldn't be a nicer guy if he tried.
There's millions of stories about Bobby Orr like that in this area. I can think of like 6 people I know that have stories like that off the top.
I guess they were at a pool and Bobby Orr was walking by and some kid would like started splashing him and shit. And the parents like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, went to like scream at the kid, and the guy's like, "He's a kid, let him splash." Like, just like a cool fucking dude. So
yeah. Do you ever hear the story? You know the deal with him with the Bruins, right?
Mm-mm.
So there was a guy named Alan Eagleson who was Bobby Orr's rep and a rep for a lot of players. And this is when the NHL was not. They didn't want players.
Fuck them.
They didn't want players publicizing their salaries because they were all scumming off it. And the Bruins offered a stake in ownership to Bobby Orr. And this guy never told him. And that's why he ended up going to Chicago. Yeah. So even if it was 1%, do you know how much that'd be worth right now?
A lot of money.
Yeah. So that guy, I mean, he died. That guy went to jail up in Canada, I believe. Yeah, he was a scumbag.
Bad guy of the week.
Yeah, right. Oh, my other hero. Sorry. My truck, Betty. Betty hit 100,000.
100,000. Monumental moment.
I was aware of it and I saw it happen.
That's cool. That's always kind of cool when you look down and you see shit like that.
Well, I looked down, it was like 9998. And I was like, holy shit.
You drive a lot though. What year's your truck?
2015. 7 years.
You're not that bad, dude. No. That's not bad at all.
Nope.
All right.
Hopefully another 7. Love that truck.
What kind of truck?
GMC Sierra.
Fucking right, dude. Fucking right. Here's one for you. So when I went to get my truck, like, this is back. I was between a Silverado and a Jeep Wrangler. And for some reason, I always thought GMCs were cheaper than Chevys. So I was like looking at Silverados and I was like, this is pretty expensive. I wonder what a GMC would be. Like, being like, I could do a GMC. I looked and I was like, I could not be more wrong. Like, dude, GMCs, those are fucking nice vehicles. American made Brownie. I respect that.
They're the same. GMC and Chevy are like the same. Chevy's for like the suburban, like
GMC's like luxury, right?
Well, compared to my old truck, sure. But the GMC is more the work truck, whereas the Chevy is more of a cruise truck. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But this way, I got in this car. I bought this. This was a lease return, right? So it had low mileage. I got in this truck to drive it the first time. I sat down, adjusted the seat, and I went. In my head, I went, just keep it together. I didn't want the kid to know. It had like a deflated tire, and I still was like, yeah, I like this one. It was unbelievable. I love that truck.
When I went to get my truck, it was between a Silverado and a Jeep Wrangler, and my buddy I played hockey with was a car salesman, and he hit me up as the last day of the month. So if you're listening to this and you want to get a new vehicle, the best time to get a new vehicle is literally the last day of the month because everybody's trying to hit their quota when they give out trucks, not for free, but they,
Yeah.
So I go down there with my old man, literally just to look. And we're looking, and they had what do they call it? They let the salesman drive it around. You know what I'm talking about?
They
like
take it home, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like a loaner car, I guess. But a lot of places, like the salesman, like they're like, okay, you can just drive this car, and when it gets to a certain amount of miles, you get another one, whatever it might be.
Yep.
I get in this thing. I look at my dad, and he's dude, he was so fucking happy. I'm like, I can't not get this fucking truck, and that's how I ended up with my truck.
There you go.
So we're good with heroes and zeros?
Yeah, that's it, man.
All right, 3 stars. Buckle up, bud.
All right, Jim and Mike, thanks very kindly. A nice weekend for you. As always, our 3-star selectors are stars of the hockey scene wherever we go on Rogers Hometown Hockey.
All right, here we go. 3 stars.
This was in honor of the nicknames of Nola Chari, Cookie, and the Gretzky stuff. So top 3 nicknames hockey and top 3 nicknames non-hockey.
All right.
Dude, I have a shitload.
My honorable mention goes to Cujo, Curtis Joseph. I know it's not really like a nickname, but growing up,
a nickname.
My first dog, it was a Rottweiler, and we named her Cujo
from the movie.
For the movie.
Yeah.
But I was such a simpleton that growing up, I thought Cujo, Curtis Joseph, just really liked the movie Cujo. So like, fucking loved him. I loved him. I was like, this guy's the fucking man.
You drank a lot of paint as a kid, didn't you?
Did you grow up? Did you grow up underneath power lines? No. So yeah, Cujo, he was the man, and I want to say he was adopted. I'll look it up, but that's my honorable mention. My number 3, Mark Messier, the Moose, dude.
I have him on my list too. Yep.
You're a hockey player, and somebody's calling you the Moose, dude. You're big dick swinging, dude.
Yep.
So I would go Mark Messier, Moose.
What's your number 1?
Well, I did an honorable mention. Messier was my 3.
Oh, okay. Then I'll go. All right. So I did not do any nicknames. Like if your last name, like Brendan Smith, right? Smitty.
Yeah.
Or like, Ryan Callahan, Callie. I didn't do any of those. Well, I did one, but I didn't do a lot of those. So my number 3, and this could be recency bias maybe a little bit, but I thought Broadway was a great name. Jimmy Hayes.
Yeah, that's a sick nickname, Dad.
That's a great nickname.
It is.
So, sorry, my honorable mentions. So I'm gonna blast out all my honorable mentions. Oh wait, I'll do my honorable mentions at the end in case you say them.
All right, Curtis Joseph was adopted. Nailed it.
There you go.
All right, Jim and Mike, thanks very kindly.
Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. My number 2.
Yeah.
Gotta go with the King, Henrik Lundqvist.
Yep. I had that on there.
I mean, there's not a more beautiful dude in the world like that, and he was unbelievable at his thing. He's got a fucking rope on him from what people talk about. Goes down to his kneecap from what I hear, and I was very blessed to watch that guy play hockey. So that's my number 2 star.
My number 2, and this is because I was talking to my wife before this, and she goes, "Oh, I really like that one." So I'm like, you know what? I'll make it my number 2. Little Ball of Hate.
Yep.
And I mean, listen, I know everybody calls Marchand that, but it was originally Pat Verbeek.
Oh, you don't like Pat Verbeek though, right?
I would have loved.
Oh no, Dino Ciccarelli.
Yeah,
you don't like that.
Some off ice issues there.
All right. My number 1, Pavel Bure, the Russian Rocket. Funny story. So I grew up playing Corinth youth hockey until I was like second year Bantam. So we literally had like 8 or 9 games outside, practice maybe 3 times a year before I actually got to play in a rink. And I remember we would have playoffs in a rink, just a regular hockey rink. And I remember walking into the regular hockey rink being like, holy shit, I'm in the NHL. Like, this is fucking cool. Isn't that crazy? Like now,
how old were you?
Second year Bantam. So I don't I mean, old enough where I shouldn't be walking into a hockey rink thinking I made the NHL. Like, but it's crazy because at the time I remember it being that way, and now you look at how many rinks I played in, and it's fucking whatever. Yeah. But so before I went and played youth hockey and shit, like organized, my dad's like, I got to put you in a summer league to see if you can like handle it, I guess. So I played in this King of the Hill league in Clifton Park, and I mean, dude, we didn't hit in Corinth. There was nothing. And when you're a Bantam, you're hitting. So there's more or less to see how I would adjust. So the guy ended up calling me the Corinth Rocket because, again, growing up, I didn't have as much ice time as everybody else. My skating was a little weird. I was always really, really fast, but stopping was always kind of optional. And I would just run into things. Like all the time, like I would be like bam, or a person or anything like that. So he called me the Corinth Rocket. So that's why the Russian Rocket is my number one.
All right. My number one was gonna be Iggy, but then I said that whole thing about I didn't do names based off of that, so he's not. But my number one, because I think this is a great nickname, Turk.
Yeah, and for
Derek
people who don't know, that's Gerard Gallant.
I meant Derek Sanderson, but yeah, Gerard
Gallant. Oh, yeah, same thing. Why did they call Sanderson that?
Probably because the Young Turks was like, I think that was like a thing, like saying you're like a stud. I think.
Oh, okay. Well, Gallant
because he did that. He had a bar with Joe Namath, him, and Hawk Harrelson. I think
it's not bad.
Yeah, Bachelor's 3 or something like that.
Well, Gallant, he was Turks. His uncle had pet turkeys in the
basement. Turkeys, that's right. Derek Jeter named after Derek Sanderson.
I still don't think that's real. I think fuck you, dude. You were fucking with me.
No, yes, you were. I honestly think that's true. Yeah,
okay.
You know what? I will text Kevin Paul DuPont tomorrow, and I'll ask him.
Do it.
And I will take a screenshot and send it to you. Whatever he says, I will.
Right.
You and say it like you're daring me. Like you won't do it.
Now, top 3 non-hockey.
Wait. Let me give you my Jumbo for Jumbo Joe. Jumbo's a great name. Mr. Hockey. I mean, I feel like we had to say that. We talked about the great one before.
Yeah.
The Kid, just to get you angry.
That's a cool nickname.
Yeah. No, I know. Dominator.
That's a good nickname.
Yeah, that is a good nickname. Butchie for Butch Cassidy or anybody named Bruce, you know?
Yeah.
And this one, it's not really a nickname, but I'm trying to make it catch on for Bergeron, the perfect human.
I like that. What about Boogeyman for Bugard?
Oh, yeah. Oh, Shattenkirk, Shatty, but that's another one based off a name, right? Off their last name.
I would kind of like to look into more of that. Do you know that song where it's like, every day I'm shuffling, bump, 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 bump? So people used to make t-shirts every day I'm buffling, and it'd be like a...
Big Buff.
Big Buff.
Big Buff. Hey, before we go to non-hockey, so you're obviously Ked, I'm Brownie. What other nicknames have you had in your life?
I was real small growing up, so I was Peanut there for a bit. James Carmen, whenever my mom or my grandma was mad at me. Jimmy, Bags. I was Bags when I was at Hudson Valley. That's probably really it, man. Those would be mine. What about you? I wish I had like Ked's not bad. I don't hate Ked, but it'd be kind of cool if I was like Maverick or something, you know?
I've always had Brownie. In high school, I was Rhino, and that was through college too. Because in lacrosse, I used to hit head first, and there was one time I hit a kid and like speared him basically, and then I ran over him, and the coach was like, "Brownie hit that guy like a rhino," and then it stuck. And I had a job as a camp counselor, and I was young. Like I was only like a few years older than the campers. Mm-hmm. So I was like assistant counselor. I don't know what they called it. And the head guy called me Boo Boo. Like Boo Boo Bear. So those are mine, I guess. I think that's it.
My grandfather used to call me his little Guido because I have like Italian in me.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like a racial remark. That might. I don't think so.
Was he Italian? Oh.
No, he was not. He was just like your old school, just like Grandpa. That
might have been a little dig at your other side of the family.
Yeah, but all right. 3 non-hockey nicknames.
Oh, this is hard. There's a lot of really.
Are these just specifically sports?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I did specifically sports.
All right.
All right. Well, honorable mention, the honey badger.
I just circled that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
LSU. He was nasty.
Oh, he's still in the pros too. He's great.
My third, the soul and the SWAT, the king of crash, the colossus of clout, the great Bambino, the Babe Ruth. I mean, you have that many nicknames, you're a legend.
Yep.
So that's my third star.
My third star, old time. Oh my God, I can't do both of these. Which one do I like better? All right, so I'll do this instead. Hold on, I'm changing mine. Old time baseball pitcher for the Red Sox, Bill the Spaceman Lee.
That's kind of cool.
And there's a picture of him doing like a big kick windup, and he's got like an old NASA helmet on.
That's pretty cool. I like that. I never heard of him, but I like it. My number two. So I go through these things where like I work out a lot, get like in decent shape, and then I just eat pizzas, and I become one of this. The round mound of rebound.
Oh, Barkley.
Charles Barkley.
He was also Sir Charles too. Yeah.
That's kind of a cool nickname.
Yeah, so. That's a lot to say, but yeah.
It's fucking cool though. So
I agree. I'll give you that one. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
My number two then would be, and there's two of these. I have them tied because they're related.
Mm-hmm.
Billy the Kid, which is kind of like Sid the Kid, which is where it comes from. But Wild Bill Hickok or Wild Bill anybody. I think Wild Bill is just a great one.
Wild Bill's a sick name.
Yeah.
Like if your name's Bill, you grow up hoping people call you Wild Bill.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I feel like you go from Billy the Kid to Wild Bill.
Yeah. I think so too. Yeah. That's like going from Jimmy to Jim.
There you go.
Kind of a thing. My number one, the fucking big unit, bud. Randy Johnson.
Big Hurt was Frank Thomas.
The big unit, dude. Unit and his last name's Johnson.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, I never put that together till just now.
Fucking hose on that.
That is great.
That's great. Dude, that poor fucking bird ate a 100 mile an hour fucking.
I just thought of that. Yeah,
dude, what? Talk about being in the wrong fucking place at the wrong time, man.
All right, so my number one, and this is number one because it edged out a teammate of his, William the Refrigerator Perry.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great nickname, the Fridge.
It is,
especially when they had him running in touchdowns and stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Honorable mention, Jerome the Bus Bettis.
There you go. Want to go back and forth?
I mean, I don't have too many after that, but if you want to keep going, go for it.
Walter Payton, Sweetness.
That's cool. What was Griffey? Was Griffey ever anything?
The Kid.
Yeah. Dude, that's how you know you're sick. Like, if you're like a young stud in a sport and they call you the Kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got any more sports ones?
Oh, man. I'd have to fucking think about it, man. What
I'll rattle some sports ones for you. Maybe it'll jog some memories. Butterbean.
Butterbean.
Remember that guy?
Yep. David Boomer Wells. Called him Boomer.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Dr. J.
That's a cool nickname to have.
Air Jordan. I mean, it's a whole sneaker thing. Mr. October.
That's a good one. Or Mr. November, Derek Jeter. Johnny fucking Football, dude.
Oh, yeah. Johnny Hockey.
Johnny Hockey would have been way cooler if Johnny Hockey became Johnny Hockey before Johnny Football became Johnny Football.
I think Johnny Hockey's got some swag to it because Johnny Hockey is a much better hockey player than Johnny Football is a football player.
In the pros, but I would argue Johnny Football was way better at college sports than Johnny Gaudreau.
Fair. I'll give you that one. Magic Johnson. Magic's a nickname.
He is Magic.
Yeah. I got a few more sports ones. Megatron.
Yep.
Catfish Hunter, the old
pitcher. Man, yes, that's a fucking great one, man. They used to be like my Reddit name, the real Catfish Hunter.
And then anyone named Bubba.
Bubba's fucking cool.
Yeah, that's a great name.
So Hal is allergic to peanuts.
Yeah.
And so we would call him Peanuts sometimes.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's fucking any. My buddy Merb, we call him Zoomy. because of the fucking drinking game. Zoomy fucked me up.
My buddy Johnny, we call him Snoop because he showed up to a hockey pickup skate with a Snoopy on his jersey. So everybody calls him Snoop now.
I like that. Nicknames are good. You just got to make sure you have the right one, man.
So here's
a kid. I played hockey with a kid. His name was everybody knew him as Austin Ryder, but that was his middle name. His first name is Richard, and growing up, people called him Dick Ryder.
That's a tough bid.
That's a tough look.
I'm going to give you my non-hockey ones. Puffy.
Puffy's good. You know we were just talking about Wild Bill?
Yep.
Bill can go either one way. Wild Bill or Buffalo Bill. And you definitely want to be Wild Bill.
Yeah, for sure. And then right along with Puffy, Biggie.
Mm-hmm.
Bugsy Siegel. Bugsy Malone. That could have been a hockey one. That's a good hockey one.
It's a good.
You should have thought of that. Jay Wow.
She went to Columbia High School, which is not that far from me. Biz Nasty.
When she came out when that show first came out, she was all right. I mean, she's older now, but Jay Wow's a great nickname.
And this is gonna be the second time I said this. You never fall in love with the Jersey Shore, dude.
That's fair. You ever hear of Charlie Parker?
No.
Jazz musician, Bird. Famous jazz musician, Bird. You said this one earlier, Maverick. Maverick's a great nickname.
Maverick's Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
Ooh, great one. The Beast. And then I also had J-Lo, because I feel like J-Lo started all those like D-Wade or A-Rod. I feel like J-Lo started all that.
So you know how like the kid is if you're cool if you're an athlete?
Yeah.
Like J-Lo was like if you're cool if you're a singer. Like I think everybody else kind of started doing shit like that after her.
I think she was the first one.
Jenny from the Block.
Yeah. Oh, that's a pretty good nickname too. But J-Lo, I mean, I don't think anybody calls her Jennifer Lopez. Everybody calls her J-Lo.
Yeah. The only time I ever heard her called Jennifer Lopez is that South Park episode. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Do you like South Park? I feel like you would love South Park.
I do. I just don't keep up with it. I'm but every once in a while, well, I got caught. My wife was like, "What are you guys watching?" I'm like, "Oh, we're watching cartoons." She came around the corner and she's like, "No." I think my daughter was like 3 at the time.
You know what's? Did you ever have like shows growing up that your parents just didn't let you watch? My dad would not let me watch The Simpsons. No idea why.
No, I don't know. I don't know, but we also when I was growing up, there was a lot less channels.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't have all that. And plus we got the old like get outside and go. Like my wife won't let, she does not. Well, it's not that she doesn't let, she really is strongly against me showing my daughter the Three Stooges.
Okay.
She needs to be a little older, she said. I'm like, this is her time to watch this. She's like, no, it's not. So,
dude, you ever see the show Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Oh, I love that show.
Dude, that popped up on my phone the other day. That show is so fucking funny. I don't know his name in real life, but he's the same guy who plays Herb on Two and a Half Men.
Ryan Stiles.
That guy is so fucking funny, dude. And also, while we're talking TV, I've watched a little bit of Jeopardy over the week. That new guy that they have fucking replacing Trebek, like you could not have done better than that.
Yeah, I don't watch it. But that's like, he's a legend, you know.
Yeah, but I think the guy that they picked, this is definitely gonna be mea culpa, but I think he's the dude who owns like the record for most consecutive Jeopardies in a row.
Oh,
and that guy could not be any more of a wet blanket if he tried. Like Trebek was like, I don't want to call him a wet blanket. He was very well put together, but he would still have fun occasionally and shit.
Yeah, I get you.
This guy's not like that. What are your thoughts on Steve Harvey?
I think he's funny on Family Feud.
Yeah.
I don't think
I
don't think I'm gonna go to Steve Harvey for life advice like his other talk show.
Yeah. I heard he's a dick. That's why I asked you, because on Family Feud, he's hilarious. Like he's actually really funny. But
I wonder if the cameras were rolling, like if we could get the unedited version, does he big time everybody during the commercial? Like
I don't know.
Maybe.
But yeah, so I'm surprised he didn't fucking Wee Man. I'm surprised he didn't put any like jackass guys in
there. I was gonna say Knoxville, but
Bam Margera.
Oh, Bam's a good one, yeah. Yeah. Danger Aaron.
I mean, all the wrestlers, dude.
Yeah, we could have named every
wrestler. like, yeah.
But I feel like they don't come up with them, the wrestler themselves. Actually, I saw a thing today where Brock Lesnar, I guess Conor McGregor is saying stuff about the WWE, and Brock Lesnar, they had this whole thing like, if he wants to come talk to me face to face, I'll, take care of it. So maybe Conor McGregor is going to show up for a WWE event.
Brock Lesnar? Oh, that's got to be fake then, because in real life, if Conor McGregor went up to Brock Lesnar,
he'd kill him. Yeah, Brock Lesnar is a legitimate wrestler. He was an NCAA champ,
and he's a UFC champ.
Yeah,
that's right. Champ. Brock Lesnar would murder pretty much anybody on planet Earth.
Yeah, that's fair. Does he have a nickname?
Oh, King of the North, Jon Snow. That's a good one.
Oh, is that from Game of Thrones?
Yep. Any nicknames on Always Sunny? I guess the waitress. Nobody actually knows what her name is.
Do you know that Charlie Day?
They're married in real life.
I learned this like a few years ago, and I still remember how happy I was when I learned that. Yeah, I was like, "Oh, that's so nice."
But they've never named her. It's always
it's fantastic.
I think that's fucking hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
Rip from Yellowstone.
Oh yeah. Actually, that's coming back soon with a 2-hour premiere.
That's gonna be good watching. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I'll record
girl from that show. Oh
my god, because I don't want to deal with the commercials.
Are there any like country music ones? I just called George Strait the king of country music. I don't know if that's like his real thing.
Oh, look at James Brown. James Brown, Godfather of Soul.
Did Johnny Cash have a nickname?
The Man in Black.
That's a sick fucking nickname.
Yeah, that is. Aretha Franklin was the Godmother of Soul or the Queen of Soul, maybe. Michael Jackson was the king of pop.
Michael Scott was Michael Scarn.
Yeah. I
think we're reaching now.
Well, no, that one might have been a bit much.
All right, guys. Well, thank you.
Terry O'Reilly was called Taz.
That's cool. Quick shout out to
we should have come up with like groups like the Legion of Poon, the Legion of Boom.
I don't know if there's going to be that many more groups besides that, though.
The Purple People Eaters. That was another one.
I don't know who they are.
That was the Vikings defense. And I think the Bears, the Monsters of the Midway. I think that's what they called them.
I don't know. Quick shout out to Will. He works at the Schenectady rink. He came up to me when I was walking to the rink the other day, and he's like, "Holy shit, you're the morning skate!" And he listened to the Rizzo. He loves Brownie. So he's got comments on our YouTube channel and all that shit. So shout out to Will. Fucking really nice guy. Really kind of cool to meet him.
Attaboy, Will.
All right. What do you got for Ginla tonight?
Well, I asked Kevin Paul DuPont. I did tell him at the end of every podcast how I sign off to Ginla and everything. And I go, so Ginla was here for you. You got any good stories? He didn't have a story. And he said, he said he was just super professional and everything, but I go, well, I ask everybody. I told him how I asked Bo Bennett just off the cuff, not on the docket or anything. And he told us that great hot tub story. And DuPont went, oh, I don't have a hot tub story, but I have a bathtub story for you. And I was like, fire away. So he told me this great story, and you're going to have to listen to the other episode in order to hear that story.
There you go.
Like that. Yeah.
That's good plug. Good plug. Well, everybody, thanks for.
Hey, listen, don't want to forget. God bless you, Jerome McGinley, wherever you are, buddy.
Thanks for tuning in. Hockey's almost here, guys. You can follow us on Twitter at @morning_skate. Same with Instagram. Check out our YouTube channel. We're everywhere. So
like, subscribe.
Oh my God, Dale Earnhardt, the Intimidator.
Oh yeah. Oh, and his son was Junior.
Yeah.
Junior's not a bad one. I think they might have called Griffey Jr. too a little bit.
Yeah, Jeff.
Oh my God, Shaquille O'Neal's got like 50 nicknames.
Yeah, we.
Oh my God. So our mea culpas are just gonna be just us listing cool nicknames that we couldn't think of.
Yeah. So many nicknames. All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. We will talk to you guys next week. Later.
See you.